Why Legalizing Weed Will Help the Economy by Jeffrey Lowenthal. Harry J. Anslinger worked for the Bureau of Narcotics, and he wanted to build this agency into a stronger agency. However, opium and cocaine were not going to be enough for him to justify the expansion of his agency. Thus, he decided he wanted to outlaw marijuana. He geniusly used racism and violence as a way to create a problem out of the use of marijuana. By falsifying reports and describing a situation known as reefer madness, he convinced many that marijuana was bad. Furthermore, he was realistic. He realized he would need the help of someone who was capable of getting the word out to many people. Thus, he sought William Randolph Hearst, the head of a huge newspaper company and the founder of yellow journalism, to help him. Due to William Randolph Hearst's stake in the lumber industry, he agreed. This all culminated in the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937, which resulted in the heavy taxing of marijuana. Finally, as a result of Gonzalez versus Reich, the federal government considered selling weed, even for medical purposes, illegal. Right now, the opportunity cost of not taxing weed is roughly $46.7 billion a year. With our immense debt, we might be forced to legalize marijuana as a means of raising tax revenue. For example, Colorado has legalized weed and made roughly $3.5 million in 2013 from taxing cannabis. Furthermore, legalizing marijuana results in the positive externality of fewer teenagers smoking marijuana. Here is Colorado's average of teenagers smoking marijuana before legalization, and here is it afterwards. That is below the nation average, even though it is legalized. .5% of the U.S. Border Patrol's drug paraphernalia that is captured is marijuana. By legalizing marijuana, we are able to tax this importation, thereby giving our government even more money. Furthermore, the government keeps having to increase our border security due to a need to search for drugs. More so, by legalizing marijuana, we would cut up to 60% of the cartel's money, who are terrorizing local people and taking countless innocent lives. Another unexpected effect of making marijuana illegal is the cost of placing people in prison. Furthermore, many students are losing the opportunity of higher education due to having drug-related arrests on their record. This results in an even more uneducated workforce. Here are some facts about the cost of putting people in jail. Over 1.5 million people were incarcerated in 2012 due to nonviolent drug-related charges. In 2012, 749,825 people were arrested for breaking laws related to marijuana. 658,231 of the 749,825 people were only in possession of marijuana. That is almost 90% of them. If California taxed and legalized marijuana, it is expected it could earn up to $1 billion. Over 200,000 students lost the ability to get financial aid from the government due to having drug arrests on record. What is the easiest way to solve this problem? It is very simple. Legalize marijuana. Many people are deterred from growing and selling marijuana due to the possibility of going to jail. Thus, there is a somewhat monopoly held by those who are willing to risk jail time. The true supply curve is to the right of the observed supply curve due to risk. If this risk of going to jail were to be eliminated, then there would be more people supplying weed, and thus the supply curve would shift to the right. Furthermore, the demand curve is also determined by risk. If people were not worried about going to jail for smoking marijuana, then more people would smoke weed. This would shift the demand curve to the right, signaling an increase in demand. With all of this in mind, this shifts the new equilibrium, or the market clearing price, to the right. This new equilibrium means that there's a greater quantity of marijuana being sold, and thus there'd be a greater quantity of taxes being collected, thereby increasing the government's tax revenue as a result of legalizing marijuana. Although it is impossible to eliminate deadweight loss while creating a tax, we would find the ideal tax to minimize deadweight loss.